Maybe I can get some answers about things. Well, not too good.
Not too good?
No, yeah, I'm not exactly here to be too chummy. I've been coming to the carts to ask questions. I used to be Jehovah's Witness. I even wanted to study a couple of months ago, but then I had issues when I came across things about child abuse and the covering up of it. Royal Commission, the following of 7 men who have decided to fork out $4,000 a day over the last couple of years to hide the names of 24,000 pedophiles in America against a court order. Or how 1,006 pedophiles, 759 admitted, were not reported to the police since 1950 by the organisation.
They're bad, aren't they?
Yeah, but I mean, how can people be fine with being following men to believing that these guys are servants of God, representatives of God, so to speak, while seeing them break the law by refusing a court order that they and forking out $4,000 a day to hide the names of these 24,000.
Mate, have you got the answer?
I want to know your personal opinion. I tried this.
Well, my personal opinion wouldn't matter, you know.
Now, see, this is a cop-out because I asked the ladies a couple of days ago that were here, and they tried a scripture which was totally a load of rubbish, but they refused to answer the question.
Well, I don't know how to answer the question. You tell me.
Well, answer. I mean, how you personally feel about it. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty
Personally
simple.
feel
About the organisation paying out $4,000 a day.
Well, I don't know where you got that information from. I haven't seen it, so I can't comment on it.
Well, it's pretty simple. It was a case where the Watchtower was fined $3.5 million because of abuse by a known pedophile of a child in San Diego. He grew up, took him to court. One of the many cases, mind you, that have been brought against the witnesses. One of the ones that weren't hidden by a gag order. And you just got to look it up, basically. I mean, it's a court order to hand over the names when it was found that there was a database of 24,000 known pedophiles. First, they tried to say that it would take years because so much documents to go through and that. The prosecutors brought in a software expert that said it would take about 2 days, and then they just refused. They did hand over 5,000 names eventually, with redacted names and information, and then they were told to hand over the database of 24,000 names. They asked for a sanction of $4,000 a day. They got it, then they appealed that sanction. It's court documents.
So what's your point?
What's my point is, how do witnesses feel? Just random witness. I mean, how can you actually be a part of an organisation that has not just covered up abuse, but has protected abusers? The Royal Commission alone, and elders said this. One elder said that he wouldn't bother telling the community, but only close friends, that there's a pedophile in the community. I mean, convicted pedophiles have been allowed to study congregation.
All right, okay, you've done your homework. Right, where do we go? Okay, you tell me where you go.
No, don't try and just turn this to me. I'm asking your opinion.
Well,
your
I don't have an opinion because I really don't give a rip.
You don't care about the child abuse?
No. So you tell me where to go.
you don't care about the abuse that's covered up by the organisation.
Mate, how many organisations have done it?
The witnesses are the only ones who actually not just deny that it happened, but won't do anything about it.
Well, that's in your opinion.
No, that's actually what the Royal Commission found. And they did so many. They did like almost 60 organisations and institutions.
But you haven't got an answer to it.
Well, I'd like to know how it can be that you can follow men, how anyone can follow men.
But we're not following men.
Yes, you are, because anyone
Well, listen.
anyone.
We are not following men. You don't know who
I do, because I
follow.
used to be a witness.
No. You only thought you were.
Oh no, I definitely was.
No.
Because, let me put it this way: who has total say over an organisation?
Jehovah.
No, these men.
Mate, you're talking garbage. Go away.
No,
Go away.
no, this is actually a public area, so it's fine. I can
Mate.
talk to you. You're here to have people talk to you.
I have a friend in the police force.
So what? I'm not doing anything illegal.
You're harassing me.
No, actually, I'm
I
not.
can bring harassing charges against
Actually, you can't. I've actually checked this all out.
you. Yeah, you have, yeah?
Yeah, I
You get a
have.
shot, mate.
No, and this is going to be really good on the internet too, because the fact is that that you follow men, okay,
Jonathan.
who are paying $2 million, have paid out $2 million so far to hide the names of 24,000 pedophiles. So how can that be? How can you be fine with that? You said you don't care. So how can this be? Yeah, you can do that. That's fine, because I'm being reasonable.
Mate, go tell somebody who cares.
You don't care about the child abuse.
I don't care.
You don't care.
No.
You don't care that kids have been abused, that pedophiles are allowed in the congregation, that pedophiles aren't reported to the police unless it's compulsory. So you've got to find about kids being at risk in congregations with known pedophiles in it.
Mate, go tell your information to somebody else who cares.
You don't care about child
Mate,
abuse.
I don't care. So you have a good day.
No, actually, no, because I'm going to stay here because this is really
Yeah, well, take
interesting.
a seat. Sit down and take a seat, buddy.
This is interesting. So you,
Jonathan.
as a Jehovah's Witness, don't care about innocent kids. That's not very Christian, is it? So how can you
You want a
be
box
so
to
calm?
stand on. Hey,
You do realise
you want a
how
box to
this
stand
actually
on, mate?
looks for
You want a box
you.
to stand on.
So you got no problem with it then?
Hey?
You got no problem with
Yeah, mate,
child
go
abuse?
tell-
He just admitted it.
Go and tell somebody who cares.
Yes, he doesn't care.
I don't care. I don't care about what you're talking about. No.
You don't care about the child abuse, is what I'm talking
I
about.
don't care about your rubbish.
But it's not rubbish, it's proven
I'm good, mate.
that by
I
documents
hope you enjoy it.
from the society itself. Andrew Jackson even said during the Royal Commission, because he did it via link, that that they're not the only possible conduit from God. There'd be others. You had Stephen Lett calling people who called the organisation the Pedophiles Paradise, which, when you think about covering up child abuse, paying out money in court cases with gag orders, allowing them back in the community, when it's a pedophile paradise because it protects pedophiles. Where it won't tell the congregations that there are pedophiles in the midst, and where they've actually supported pedophiles as well. So, you got all this. But this guy, Stephen Lett, has called them apostate lies and dishonesties. So he's called child abuse victims who have left because of how they're treated, because of
You've been screwed up, aren't you? Eh?
Why am I screwed up? Because I don't like child abuse organisations that cover it. Is that why I'm screwed up?
But you don't know where else to go.
Yeah, I'm actually a pagan now. Thanks to the hypocrisy I've seen. I mean, when you're baptised, you're baptised only if you believe this is his conduit, only organisation. But isn't that God supposed to say that? We as men don't get to determine who are his conduit. Yeah? And by actions, you usually you know how organisations are if they truly follow God. And when you have people being more interested in keeping the image of the organisation rather than protecting kids, then, there's a big issue there. It's not about God. It may have been in the beginning, but it's not about God now. It's about property, it's about power, it's about numbers.
You're a bit screwed up, aren't you, eh?
Why am I screwed up? Because I don't like child abuse. And you're laughing at someone who's concerned about child abuse.
We don't like it either.
Well, he certainly has no issue with it. But then how do you feel?
It's the stupidity of dwelling on something that you can't do anything about.
No, but that's just it though. The organisation can do something about when it happens. Many of these pedophiles have actually re-offended against other people. These pedophiles, if they're disfellowshipped, they're usually allowed back in eventually, but if they're disfellowshipped, they're allowed back in the community where they can target other kids. The authorities are not informed. So something can be done about it. Because pedophiles don't just molest one child, they molest several. I mean, and it's covered up. People in the congregation aren't told it's happened. People in the community aren't told it's happened. There's 24,000 names of known pedophiles. So how can that, so it can be done. It's to be dwelled on. I spent half an hour here almost 50 minutes the other day trying to get an answer. I've got an answer from you. You don't care about child abuse, pedophilia, and the cover-up of it.
Care about the garbage.
No, I asked him a question flat out, and he answered it. He doesn't care. So, yeah.
Mate, you can't talk to a stupid person.
Well, I'm doing a pretty good job of it. That's not very Christian. I thought you're supposed to love your neighbour, love your enemy even. And yet you're laughing about child abuse cover-up. You don't care about, the organisation forking out $4,000 a day to protect pedophiles against a court order. I thought the idea was to follow the law. It doesn't go against God's law. So why is the organisation paying out money to go against a legitimate court order?
I'll ask them.
But that's just it. I'd like to know your opinion on it.
I've told you my opinion.
You don't care.
I don't care.
You don't care that the organisation is protecting the names.
So you're going to go over this again now, are you?
Yeah, I'm just going to keep on going.
Mate. Do you want to sit down for a bit?
No, I'm fine here. You being facetious, it's even better.
Take your time,
I've got all the time in the world. So,
sit down. You like me to go get your coffee?
You're being facetious.
No?
You do realise how this actually makes you look. It only proves the point that people in the organisation really don't care about the child abuse. You're laughing about every time I say child abuse, you laugh about it. So
no, I laugh about the way you're carrying on. That's all.
I'm carrying on. So I'm not. So having an issue with child abuse.
You're like a clown. A clown that has parts to play.
Oh, right. And what would that part be? Pray tell.
That's what you, yeah.
Yeah, but what part would that be? Part of
stupidity.
But because I'm confronting people in an organisation who defend the organisation basically over their child abuse.
Oh mate, you are so funny.
Yeah. You do realise this is an old standard tactic that has been done plenty of times before. I've even done it myself actually. The mocking of someone to try and diminish what they're saying. And to diminish your own frustration too.
Have you ever been to a psychiatrist?
So now you're saying that someone who has an issue with the cover-up of child abuse
have you ever been to a psychiatrist?
Has got a mental illness?
Yeah, I think you've got a mental illness.
because I've got an issue with an organisation.
Mate, do you live
covering
in your
up
car,
child
or
abuse.
Do you pay rent somewhere, or do you
Yeah.
support the society, or do you bludge off it?
Bludge off society.
Do you bludge off it, do you?
Oh, God. So
No, hang on, answer my question.
don't try and turn this on me, okay?
Mate, do you bludge off the society?
Don't try and turn this on me, okay?
No. Do you
Yes,
bludge-
yes. You're not turning it on me because you're now getting upset again because
No.
I'm not letting up on the fact.
No.
that-
I want to know if you bludge on the society, or do you pay
Oh.
your way? Are you a bludger, or do you pay your way?
And I'm not going to tell you anything about myself.
No, because you're a bludger.
Oh, right. I'm a
You go to the dole and get your money. You live in your car.
I'm actually on a disability pension.
I know you've got a disability pension.
I'm actually on a
That-
disability pension.
Yeah, I know. That sticks out a mile, that you've got a disability pension.
So you're making fun of someone with a disability.
You've got
You
a
keep
mental
on putting your foot in
disability
it, don't
pension.
you?
You've
Yeah.
got a mental disability pension.
So you're making fun of someone with a disability, are you? Okay.
No, I feel sorry for you, mate.
Oh, no, actually, you just made fun of me because you're laughing at me.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
I laugh at you, yeah.
Yeah, so you're basically laughing at someone who's got a disability.
Yep.
You're not the brightest, are you?
Neither are you.
Well, see, you're supposed to be representing the organisation here.
No.
No?
No, we're just talking now.
No, you're representing the organisation and you're laughing at me.
No, I'm asking you if you...
What are you in public for? What are you here for?
I'm here to listen to jokes like you.
Oh, so what's this here for then?
I'm just asking you, do you bludge on the society,
You've got
or do
an
you pay
ego.
your way?
I mean, I thought Christians supposed to be humble, but
do you
you
bludge
are
on
so
the...
egotistical.
You won't answer that, will you? Because you're a bludger.
Because it's actually none of your business.
You're a bludger.
I mean, you know,
You're a bludger.
what business is
You're
it
a
yours?
bludger,
So you're
mate.
calling someone who's confronting you?
You're a bludger.
I'm a bludger
Yeah, you're a bludger.
because of...
This man's a bludger.
You do
bludges
realise
on
how you look?
society.
You do realise how you look?
This guy's a bludger. He bludgers on society.
Yeah, because I'm confronting you about the child abuse in the organisation and you
Man
don't care.
bludgers on society.
And you don't care about the child abuse.
He bludgers on society.
Yeah. You do realise how this looks?
Yeah.
You're making the organisation look bad because you are being, well, extremely unchristian. And please keep your space, okay? Your bloody personal space.
No.
Oh, I see what you're going to do. You're going to try and intimidate me. Okay, this is even better. Oh, you're going to cough in my face too. Okay.
Sorry about that.
So, you're not respecting a person's personal space. I've kept a good distance away, but you're not, you just want to keep on getting in closer and closer when I've asked you to back off. Okay. Yeah, that'd be standard bully tactic. Wouldn't be surprised if you're like an elder or ministerial servant or something like that. Because that's what they do so well. But yeah, I mean, I can do this all day, so, it's all good. I've got 100 gigs worth
Have a
of
day,
stuff
good,
here.
mate. Have a good...
Well, I'm having an awesome day. I was actually hoping for Marty or Mark, actually, eventually. Because Marty was the one who motivated me to do this when he decided to go with gangbusters. And Mark, he's the one who told me to look up the Royal Commission to get my facts. And I discovered so much more stuff. So, I used to defend the witnesses constantly. Used to defend. And then I, $2 million forked out. $2 million to protect the names of pedophiles. Oh no, this has been done before too. It was done the other day pretty much, so I just spoke for, a good 45 minutes or so. Asking the same questions. All the information out there, but because, you're not allowed to look at things because they're apostate, it's pretty bad when you're not allowed to see things because if you do, you can get into trouble, you can get the boot, you can get, disfellowshipped, shunned. What's that word you use when you are told off? Can't remember the name of it now. But yeah, just just have to look up the Australian Royal Commission 2015 report came out in November actually, and there's an update. How it said that Jehovah's Witnesses were the worst of the lot, the only ones who have a consistency to deny what's happening, to sticking to archaic rules which suit them but tend to ignore other scriptural things, like following the laws of the land when, you know, it's not God's law, because it doesn't go against God's law to hand over a database of 24,000 pedophiles, you know, to the authorities, you know, because pedophilia, oh wait a minute, I forgot, sorry. Apparently pedophilia is a sin, not a crime with the witnesses. You know, things like theft and murder and that, they're crimes, but sexually abusing a child, physically abusing a child, which also happened in one of the cases at the Royal Commission that was reported, you know, that apparently is okay, you know, being told to respect your abuser, being told to, no, only because, you know, of his family. You know, it doesn't matter the fact that, you know, he had sexually abused the sister and felt his stepdaughter's tit or anything. Nah, it's because, you know, he admitted it, but there was only one witness that, you know, he was allowed to stay around. I think he was actually disfellowshipped for, yes, immoral conduct. He was having an affair. He wasn't kicked out for sexually abusing a child, but for screwing around with another woman. And they weren't even told. Oh, there's so much information out I can say here. You know, the millions paid out in court and out of court settlements with people who've taken, well, abuse victims, taken the organisation to the court. But